Okay, I would like to welcome you all to the regularly scheduled May 2018 Metropolitan Area Planning Commission. Our first item on the agenda is for Carla to call the roll.
Mark Arnold.
Here.
Whitney Hall. Here. Marvin Kusick. Eddie Mack.
Here.
David Mason. Cole Reen.
Here.
Don Roberts.
Here.
James Simonek. David Trojan.
Here.
Jonathan Waddell.
Here.
That's quorum.
Okay, the second item on the agenda is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular Metropolitan Area Planning Commission meeting of April 16, 2018. Has everybody had an opportunity to review that? Are there any questions or comments? I have a motion to approve that. I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We will skip down to item number 6, plats. 6.1, consider a recommendation to the Garfield County Board of Commissioners for the final plat of Breezy Acres, lots 1, 2, 3, and 4 located in the east half of the southeast quarter of Section 21, Township 23 North, Range 7 West, Indian Meridian, Garfield County, Oklahoma.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The slide in front of you on the screen shows where the property is located at Phillips and Garland in the county, just outside the city limits. My next slide is a little tighter shot for you to see. My last slide is the plat, and you can see that there's 3 lots that open on Phillips, and then the one on the above opens over on Garland. There is no public water or sewer in this part of the county. They'll all be private water wells and septic service, and then the electric company has their easements there to service all the lots. It's recommended for approval. Can I? Yeah.
Any questions or comments?
I got a comment.
Okay.
Question. Drainage issues. I know that's a very flat.
That was a drainage issue, correct? Yeah.
Go ahead and come to the mic, please.
It's been, we actually have the lot north of there. Can you go back?
Yeah.
Back button?
Just click.
That
There you
one.
go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay, the one right north of it. Those railroad tracks aren't there. The railroad tracks are to the west. But the lot right north of that, which is a 12-acre lot, that one, there's a pond being built back there in the very back where the drainage is to capture that. And then we put another pond on the front of that to catch everything. Everything's draining through the road or two ponds. Everything from the land above it is draining north towards Carrier 45, Carrier Road.
So the land north of it.
Yeah, from the land north, which is another, I think they're 600 feet wide by 1,300 foot long. From north there, it drains all north. So everything from the middle of that property south would drain south and to hit the pond that he's building or to the road on Phillips.
Everything's entered off of Garland and Phillips.
Yep, everything has their own separate. You have 3 lots. So you have lot 4, 3, and 2, all Phillips. And then Garland's on the top right, backwards Oklahoma. So it's basically 1.2 acres of driveway from Garland.
I'm just going to tell you, in plats before, the county has started putting an addendum on there as far as county will not be responsible for interior roads or drainage.
Okay.
So if that's on there or you're willing to put it on there, it needs to be on there before it comes to us or we won't approve it. We've
Okay.
gotten in too many bad situations over the years.
Right. So interior drainage or roads is not the county's.
Right.
You want that on the
Especially-
plat?
Well, if it's on that's so flat, I know what's gonna happen there. You're gonna have a problem and then it's gonna be our fault.
Okay.
If we don't accept any of that responsibility, you guys more than welcome to go right ahead and do it.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I would ask staff, based on those comments, do we need to make changes to what is before us? Okay. Okay, any more questions or comments about this?
So we're basically just approving his final plat for these lots, is that right? We're not changing no zoning.
That's correct. This is a recommending body. If the motion is recommend approval to the Garfield County Commissioners or the recommendation to deny to the county commissioners, is whatever the board wishes to do.
So we're saying anything under 10 acres outside the city, under 10 acres, we could change, or does?
Right, they're doing a plat. If it's less than 10 acres, you have to plat it or do a lot split and approved by this body. If it's over 10 acres, it does not come before you. Good question.
Anything else? Do I have a motion?
You guys will work on the drainage issue, right?
It's got to
We're
be
just
on,
kind of-
it's got to be on that plat that we as commissioners sign, that we're not responsible for them drainage issues when they start.
But there is a tool to do that at the next stop, as this.
As commissioners, we do not have to sign that.
Right.
If it's not on there.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'd like to add that if I make a motion, I'll make a motion to approve only if that amended, that is amended where it is on there.
And what you want there, Commissioner, is interior roads and drainage is not the responsibility of Garfield County?
Drainage mainly.
Okay.
There's not any interior
That's true.
roads. So drainage is not the responsibility of Garfield County.
We'll make that happen, sir.
Okay.
Do you have standard language you utilize as part of the restrictive covenants that you're requiring at the present time?
Yeah, it's up there. So we've done this 100 times.
But the problem is, some people don't understand on the county drainage, when you say they have to do the drainage, is that the drainage to the county bar ditch, or is that the county drainage to the center of the road?
That is the county drainage down in the bar ditch because it's starting in a very low area that has problems
Yeah.
anyway. And you go to building houses and pads and shops and everything else, it's just going to.
It's their responsibility for the drainage in the county bar ditch once they do this.
Yes,
Do
because
that, and that's where I think a lot of these people go out there and do this, and they think they're responsible for the drainage only off of their property. They're also responsible for the drainage on the county property.
in that easement, because I'm telling you, you got a problem there anyway. Before all this goes.
Because then you sell these houses to people, and then they call the county wanting these ditches cleaned out, and the county don't have the responsibility. It was the people that originally developed this.
Without that amendment that we've been putting on
Yes.
every plat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve with the additional language that the county, Garfield County, will not be responsible for the drainage coming off, within or off of the properties that are being platted.
Second.
And I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? No. That motion carries. Our next item, we'll jump down to 8.1, lot splits. Consider a lot split for Northwest Veterinarian Supply located at 3104 North Van Buren, which is also known as a tract of land situated in Block 1, Lot 4 of Davis Commercial Tracts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This slide captures the total property owned by Northwest Vet. The next slide shows the corner that they want to split off. You can see in this slide that it has access to the Van Buren Service Road. Water line is right there along the east property line. It does not have access to the sewer here, but when I show you the lot split document, the subdivider has provided a 20-foot utility easement, and that is right here. So when they build, they'll be able to come across and get to our public sewer. It satisfies all the criteria. It's recommended for approval.
Okay. Any questions? I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. I have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. Then we will jump down to 10.1, easements. Consider a request to close a portion of an undeveloped street east of Lot 1, Block 8, East Park Edition, to Enid, Oklahoma.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You can see in this slide designated in red, this street was never developed. You can see the path is right here, and this is on Government Springs Park property. This would be right here. The people that bought this property, fence was built here, they've maintained it, their driveway is here. They always thought it was a part of their property until recently they had it surveyed, and then that's when it uncovered that it is not. And so that is what's the driver behind them filing a request to close the alley. And so it's a multiple steps. You'll make a recommendation this evening to what you think should be done to the Mayor and Board of Commissioners. The City Commission, if you recommend approval to do that, then they'll take it up and they will close it because we don't have any utilities in there. And then they'll actually have to go to Garfield County District Court and have it vacated. And when that all happens, then the property becomes theirs. Are there any questions? Thank you.
No expectation of any future utilities in that area?
No, all of our utilities, Commissioner, are in the waters here. Let's see if, oops, that was all I got from, water's in Wabash, sewer's in the alley, water's in state.
I have a question. The adjacent landowners there, do they
Here?
own their property then up to where they're requesting?
This person?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that question. I would submit no, because it's shown platted this way. The road was simply never developed, and that's not uncommon. So your question is, do they own it? I don't know the answer. I can find out.
Yeah, because this may make precedent, then they all want to come in and.
I don't think we would care, we being the city of Enid, if they wanted to close to there as well.
This is very similar to when they did the Dollar General at 3rd and Garriott. The city had physically closed that portion of 4th Street, but they never legally closed it, so we had to go back in and do this because they obtained that for part of their drainage. So this is something the city will never develop, and I think we've done this a time or two since I've been here, so.
Thank you for the question.
As long as it don't affect drainage, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Any further questions or comments about this? Okay, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. So our last item is to adjourn. I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.